y'all, I'm Jamie, and I'm just a black girl buying black. It's been a minute since I've put anything on this channel, so I figured that I should give you kind of an update on what's been going on, what I've been doing, what you can look forward to moving forward, and like just kind of all the things. So, first and foremost, while Black Girl Buying has continued to exist, I kind of took a step back from everything, really. I stopped creating content on a consistent basis. I stopped working on my books. I stopped pretty much everything except buying black. Have always and will continue to always support black businesses, even if I'm not sharing them. But took a step back and leaned in really heavily to the degrees that I have. If you're unfamiliar, I am an attorney by trade and by training. And so I lean very heavily into that. Specifically in the area of family law. And now I have found a better balance. And so while I continue to do that, I'm feeling a push and a calling and a need to come back to Black Girl Buying and put it forward in similar ways to how I was previously. I want to share how all of the pieces really fit together. And so this is an archived episode of a podcast that I appeared on. And so it'll really help you get to know more about me generally, me as an attorney, the history of Black Girl Buying, and just, again, kind of how all the things fit together. So I hope you enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Hastings Shadmary Show. I'm Mallie Shadmary.
And I'm Andy Hastings.
And today we have another honored guest. This is Miss Jamie Gray. She is one of our associate attorneys, and we are so excited to have you guys get to know her and learn what a powerhouse this woman is. Oh my God, I already have chills for us to get to talk to Jamie. And before we do, we are going to do our standard check-in. Andy Hastings, are you a warrior or a diplomat today?
I think I'm a diplomat,
Okay.
actually. I'm feeling very diplomatic. I've been working really hard to resolve a very contentious case.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's required an extraordinary amount of diplomacy in order to get it done, and we're almost there. So
Almost there.
very happy for this client to be able to close this chapter. So
Love
definitely
it.
a diplomat.
And I have been watching you this week just pay attention to the utmost of details, these intricate details in this settlement, things that I think I've seen other lawyers would just glaze right over and be like, no, get over it, client. We're not going to fight for that. We're not going to address that. This is not a big deal. And I've seen you go into those nuances, into every crevice of this case, and get it combed out beautifully for this client. And it's just incredible. So good work going on over there.
You know how I am about the details.
Yes.
Much to the chagrin of lots of people. What about you? Are you feeling like a warrior or diplomat?
I am a warrior today, girls and audience. I am a warrior. I completed my first bodybuilding competition over the weekend, and
So good.
I had my best friend there with me. We have all kinds of cute pictures. It just meant the world to me to be surrounded by my people. I ended up winning my classes that I was in, which was fabulous, but the real win was the lessons that I've learned, the journey along the way, being surrounded by you guys and learning to accept love in my times of need and vulnerability, and just be surrounded on that day and soak up every moment. It's made me a better woman, better lawyer, better human, better teammate. And I'm going to compete again in 4 weeks. So we're back in prep, and I am hoping to now I've got the nerves out of the way about, I was convinced that I was going to forget what to do when I got on stage. I think that might have been one of the first things I told Andy when she got there, was like, I'm afraid I'm going to forget. And it reminded me of even going to trial for my first time as a baby lawyer. And even now, it's scary when you're going into a courtroom and thinking, do I really know this? Even though the information's there, until you get up and start performing, you can have some self-doubt. And so it was very interesting to have that same mental game for competing in bodybuilding, except that now that I know I can do it and I have the skills as a trial attorney, and that confidence, what I'm hoping for this next one in 4 weeks is that my prep will be a little less stressful. I'll be able to be more present with my people. I really isolated myself a lot leading up to that, and I don't feel the need as much now to do that. So excited for that. And on the lawyering front, dealing with just some precious clients right now that are in the beginning stages of the divorce. And similar to Andy, I'm working a lot behind the scenes to get a couple cases all teed up. I've got trial tomorrow in a case and feeling very good about that, and just want to see some wins for our clients, and really feeling like I'm leading the charge for a lot of people right now who are stepping into battle. So I've got the warrior hat on, for sure.
She wears it well.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for giving me the support along the way. And so, Jamie, your turn, girl. Are you a warrior or a diplomat today?
Am I allowed to be a diplomatic warrior?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. We have some clients that need some extra hand-holding in their fight. And so it's a very delicate dance to help them to understand what would be what can be done within the bounds of the law, and also to fight for what it is they really want, which is not necessarily what they're verbalizing.
Right. So true.
And it does take having both hats, warrior and diplomat, to sort of bob and weave, if that's the word, and help people navigate at the beginning and know which hat you need to wear at which time. Yeah. So that's a great answer. Very dynamic, which is not surprising, knowing Jamie. Jamie is somebody who, she'll light up the energy in a room. You'll feel at peace when you're with her. She is very in touch with herself, her emotions, her intuition. And there are two sides to Jamie that I've gotten to observe so far. There's that side, and then when she is making a point, and when she is she's on a mission for something, there's a different, even a different expression on her face, a different energy. And so you saying that actually makes total sense to me, because I have seen you do that in person. Go to this, we need to talk about this. So that's one of your gifts, I think, is being able to switch back and forth. And when she does switch to that warrior mindset or that warrior cap, you can literally tell. And it's very powerful. And it's a good feeling as a teammate when we've had meetings on marketing and other things and stuff like that. And when she puts her warrior cap on, I've noticed, myself included, that people snap to attention. So let's let our people get to know that. We're going to jump in. Let's talk about where you came from. Where are you from? Where was baby Jamie when all this came to be?
So I was born and raised in Waukegan, Illinois. It is about 45 minutes north of Chicago. So for the people who are not as familiar with Illinois, I usually say I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
But I'm very clear that I was not born and raised in Chicago. So if there's anybody from Chicago, I'm not. Because my Chicago neighbors get they're very passionate about their city, which I understand because I love it too.
Chicago. I grew up with a lot of Chicago people and my next door neighbors, and they always called me Mealy. and I love it. I love Chicago people.
Apparently I have an accent, and there are certain certain names that I say a certain way, and my Georgia friends, all three of my best friends are born and raised Georgia, and they all pick up on it. And I'm like, I don't hear it.
So subtle.
Yeah.
I don't hear it. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so born and raised Waukegan, Illinois. My parents were married for 30 plus years before my dad passed away. I have an older brother. He's 2 years older. So when I was younger, we fought a lot.
Mine is too. We did too.
But now, like, we're super close.
What does your brother do?
He is the manager of a goldfish swim school. So he runs the school, which teaches kids from, I think, 6 months up, 6 months to 12 years, I think is that range, how to swim. And so,
I love it.
Yeah, swimming has always been a really big part of my family. My dad was a swimmer.
Love it.
When my parents were dating, my mom would sit on the edge of the pool and count his 100 laps.
Oh my God.
And she often tells that story, and I often make fun of her for that. My brother started swimming when he was 6 months. I was 9 months when I started swimming.
Me too.
Oh my gosh.
What is happening right now? Okay, keep going. It's not about me.
I love
And then
it.
my niece just started her swim lessons, and she's 8 months.
Oh, Angel. Oh.
The light of my life.
Oh.
I love her so much.
What were your parents? What did they do for work?
So ultimately they were both educators. So my mom started as a teacher.
My mom too?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Look at this.
What is happening?
So she started in like elementary school, I think first and second grade, moved up to middle school, like 7th grade, language arts. And then she ran a program called School Within a School, which was for the kids that nobody else wanted in their classrooms, that they felt like were a problem. And my mom knew that they just needed some special love and attention.
Love it.
And so she became their only teacher for all of the subjects.
Wow. That's quite a mom.
She's incredible. And then ultimately, she retired as a upper elementary assistant principal. My dad was a car guy, so he was a mechanic for a really long time, and then he became a college level instructor. So he went back to college. He graduated with his bachelor's at the end of my first year in college.
Okay.
And then he pushed his master's graduation up by a semester because he wanted to make sure that when I graduated, because he was scheduled to graduate at the same time that I was graduating from college,
Right.
and he wanted me to have like my own moment, so he pushed his graduation up 6 months. So he graduated in December, and then I graduated in May.
That is so conscientious and so sweet.
What a perfect human.
Oh my God, he's my favorite person.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Dad. So, your mom is it accurate to say she was educating like troubled youth?
I don't love the word troubled, but like that is probably what most people would call them. And what my mom saw is that these are kids that didn't have stable homes. Parents might have been in and out of jail. Were definitely dealing with poverty. Didn't have the same level of education, so couldn't be as involved in helping with homework and things like that. And so they were just kids that needed someone to see them.
How do you think that impacted your childhood, or did it? Seeing that, being exposed to seeing your mom leading the charge on all of that.
It for sure impacted like my trajectory because I knew that I wanted to have a similar impact, just in a different way because I didn't have the patience to be a teacher. But a lot of the kids that she taught would come home with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had dinner with us.
Oh, wow.
They're like almost like brothers and sisters. Like
that is so cool.
So like, and our phone number was the same for a lot of years. And so even if they hadn't talked to her, she hadn't heard from them in a while, they knew that phone number and would call years later. We have a Christmas Eve open house every year, and like sometimes they would just show up,
I love that.
And every time it was so glad to see you. What do you like? What's going on? Tell us everything.
Love it.
And so that was my life.
Very cool. What about, so you said you were a swimmer. What else were you into?
So I swam for a little bit. I
Okay.
tried competitive swimming for like half a season, and it was like I was in high school. I was very concerned about my hair. I was like,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is-
I would have been too.
This is not
Absolutely.
a thing. I also don't like when my feet are above my head.
Okay.
So like the flip
flipping.
turns.
Mhm.
So my like extracurriculars were always more around performing.
Okay.
So I started dance when I was 3. So
Andy's a dancer too.
tap ballet and jazz.
Yes,
And
Love
then
yes.
I did praise dancing at church.
I love
And
it.
then I did theater. Musicals were like my jam. And then in high school, I did speech team.
Love that. Love that. And I also, were you always a big reader?
Always.
Okay.
Always a big reader. I used to get in trouble I used to get in trouble for reading because it would like be my turn to do the dishes. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me like go to the bathroom first. But I would take a book. And so like I would just be like sitting in the bathroom for like 45 minutes. And
Love that.
like my parents would be like, what are you doing? So sometimes my punishment as a child was to go outside and not take a book. And I thought that it was the worst thing ever.
That's amazing.
Baby Jamie. Oh. That is
I
the
love it.
sweetest. I love it too.
And what about like as you're in high school, were you a good student? What was the vibe?
So I've always been really good at school. Like when I got to the end of my schooling, I was like, can I just get another degree? Do I have to work?
Love that.
No, but always been a good student. I often overloaded myself, so I took like 7 AP classes my senior year.
That's crazy.
It was.
We didn't have 7 AP classes in my high school. That's amazing.
It was also insane.
And you were pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it helped because I started college as a second semester sophomore.
Right.
So then I got to register before my class did. So I always got the classes that I wanted. It's great.
I am so impressed. Okay. So then where did you go to college?
I went to Spelman College. It is the #1 HBCU for the 19th year in a row.
Love that. And tell our audience what that means.
So an HBCU is an historically black college or university, which basically means that it was created for the purpose of educating black people prior to, I believe it's like 1964, I want to say. But don't quote me on that. And so Spelman was founded in 1881.
Wow, I had no idea because it's such a staple part of Atlanta and a powerhouse. Did you know for a long time you wanted to go there?
Since I was in 7th grade.
How did you visit the campus or
I
something?
did.
Oh my
So-
gosh, that is so cool.
So my brother, like I said, is 2 years older than me. So he was going into his freshman year of college, and my mom wanted him to go on this college tour of HBCUs. And they needed an extra chaperone, so they asked my mom, but she didn't want me to stay home all day because my dad was working. And I was just going into 7th grade, so she was like, no. So she said that she would chaperone if I could go. And they were like, yeah, bring her along. And so I got to see I don't remember any other college that we visited. I know that we saw other ones. And like I got a keychain from everyone, but like I fell in love with Spelman because that was the first time I had seen just black women just in their element.
Oh,
Like,
I love it.
This is incredible.
Yes.
And then what really sealed the deal for me was we were in the bookstore. I'll never forget this. We were in the bookstore, and for some reason, the Spelman keychains were more expensive than all of the other ones. And my mom was like, I'm not getting you this keychain. And I am not proud to admit that I threw a little bit of a fit. But one of the Spelman students like saw what was happening, and she gave me the whistle that every Spelman student gets during orientation. And I was like, oh my
That is such a cool moment.
And so that was it. I came back and I told everybody, I'm 7th grade. I'm like, I know where I'm going to college. I'm going to Spelman. And they were like, we're just trying to figure out like where our locker is. What are you even talking about?
Like a star was totally born.
It was an incredible moment. So
I love that story.
And knowing you too, hearing that story, it's like you follow your intuition, like I was saying, and I can see baby Jamie putting that warrior cap on in that moment, and it was like serious business. Just, I'm here, we're doing this.
And my parents were like I was very firm on it like throughout. My parents were like, okay, great, but please know that like you can't just apply to Spelman. I was like, well,
why not?
obviously, but I'm gonna go. So like,
I love that.
what's the problem? So they made me apply to an in-state school, and at least one other, and I was like, okay, fine. And then I got in. I was like, great, I'm going. And they were like, cool. But you see all of these other schools that you didn't apply to that are sending you money? They're literally throwing money at you. How are you gonna pay for that? And I was like,
Good question.
it's great. So, I had gotten my acceptance letter like right around Christmas time, so it was like the best Christmas present. But by like April, we still hadn't heard anything about like financial aid or anything. We have at Spelman we have an admitted students weekend called Spellbound. So I went to that and like was just like, I need to be here. Like, what am I gonna do? And when I got back, I found out that I had gotten the presidential scholarship, which only 5 are awarded each year.
Wow.
And it covers everything.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
I was like,
It was your
I
destiny.
get to go to Spelman.
That's incredible.
I was like, at that point, you couldn't tell me anything. I was like,
Knew what she was doing. Did you already know you wanted to be a lawyer?
no. I actually went to law school without any intention of practicing law. At that time, I wanted to, like I said, like everything coming from my mom, I knew that I wanted to make an impact, particularly for families. But like I said, I didn't have the patience to be a teacher. So I hadn't like fully figured out what I wanted to do. But what I was thinking is that I would get into policymaking and ensure that the policies that we were making would actually help and protect families. And so I wanted to have like the practical knowledge to do that, but also knew that I needed the credibility. So the practical knowledge for me would come from having a degree in social work. And then, but like, when you say that you're a social worker, people are like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Or they're like, oh, you just take people's kids. And I'm like, I didn't have time for that.
Right.
Because when you say that you're a lawyer to people, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. And they listen better. So I decided to do both.
So what was your major in college?
In college, I was a psychology and Spanish double major on the pre-law track
Okay.
because Spelman didn't offer a social work degree.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm going to Spelman, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then when I graduated, I went to Washington University in St. Louis and got my master's in social work and my law degree at the same time.
Wow. Again, dynamic girl over there. I love it.
So many facets.
And were you, what else were you involved in during college?
A lot of service activities and groups. There was a group called My Brother's Keeper, and we worked with children who were experiencing homelessness, and we made sure that they had their tutoring and their grades were good and had like some fun stuff. I also volunteered with an organization called Raising Expectations, which works to help students raise their expectations and set them up for life after high school. And so we provided wraparound services for them and their families. And I just found out that one of my kids is about to graduate from college, and it's like it's
That just gave me chills.
It's
Me
insane.
too.
She's so smart. She's getting ready to graduate from Fisk, which is another HBCU in Tennessee, and like,
Oh, I
So-
love it. Oh, I can't wait for one day. Maybe some of your kids that you've worked with can come work here.
that would be incredible.
It really would.
That'd be
And we
incredible.
know with the Jamie stamp of approval, they've got to be something special.
Exactly.
Talk to us about when you formed your first nonprofit.
Okay, so when I was in graduate school, I think it was after my first year in law school.
Not
so
like you're juggling a lot of things.
So before I actually started the social work degree, I did a summer in South Africa.
Wow.
And worked with the Legal Aid South Africa team.
Wow.
And one of the prosecutors in the children's court, which is similar to our juvenile court,
Okay.
I met her, and she and I became very, very close friends. And like she introduced me to her family and took me around and like all of these things. And so we formed a nonprofit together to help get books to children in her area because they didn't have they didn't have a lot of access.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And so did that lead to the nonprofit?
So that did not lead to, I think, what you're referring to as Black Girl Buying,
Okay.
which is not a nonprofit.
Okay.
It's a for-profit business.
Okay, yes. I wanted to hear how that came to be and
Yeah.
how you did that.
Okay, so when I was starting, I think it was my first year of the social work part of the program, Michael Brown was killed in Ferguson. And Ferguson is 15, 20 minutes from the campus of WashU. So I was and WashU is the largest employer in the region.
Okay.
And I was in the two schools that could have potentially had the greatest impact, in the law school and the School of Social Work. And nobody did anything. And I actually felt less safe going to school, particularly in the law school, after that happened because of the response of faculty, staff, and students. And so I am not a on-the-ground protester. I think that is a very important part of effectuating change. It's just not my ministry. And so I was looking for what I could do to have some sort of part in what was going on. And so part of what I did was dedicate all of my academic work to talking about disparities in treatment of Black people and people of color versus white people, or police brutality or vigilantism. However I could connect it, I found the way.
Right.
And then around Thanksgiving, I saw a call on social media to black out Black Friday, to either not buy anything at all or to only support Black-owned businesses. And I was like, oh, I can definitely do that. And that was like really the first seed of what became Black Girl Buying, because I really started to be more intentional about supporting Black-owned businesses with my own dollar. I had grown up with people telling me that Black-owned businesses were too expensive, they're not convenient, the customer service was terrible, and that the quality of product and service was subpar. And what I was finding through my own experience was that that wasn't true. And so I wanted to figure out how to tell people that. And so I started writing reviews of the Black businesses that I had supported. My friends were super supportive. They were like, this needs to be a thing. I had somebody like build me a website. One of my friends came up with the name. And so Black Girl Buying was born 2018.
Okay.
We're 7 now, so whatever that math is.
That's right.
Okay, great.
Nailed it.
incredible. That's just incredible, and an example of Jamie, but just also this example of what we need in society, which is I see and I feel at my heart and my core a problem, and I am not okay with just watching it go by. I'm going to act on it. And it's just like you in 7th grade saying, that's where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing it. And so you are in law school and getting your master's at the same time. And you started a business. So Black Girl Buying is, talk to us about, what does that do? What does it do now?
So Black Girl Buying connects consumers and Black businesses. And part of that is through content creation to help reshape the narrative around buying Black. And so a lot of it is my life, because it is such a part of my life, and how easy it is to incorporate buying Black in your everyday life. The other part of what I do is connect with growing Black businesses to help them reach their target audiences. So a lot of people start businesses because they see a problem and they want to address it, and either don't realize or don't think about all of the other things that it takes to run a business. And so I help them with all of the other things so that they can focus on why they started their business in the first place.
Very cool.
Absolutely incredible. And 100% on brand.
How do you balance that, being a practicing attorney as well? How do you do both of those things?
That's a great question that I don't know that I have a great answer to.
Right.
Because I'm still figuring it out.
You just do. Yeah.
It helps that a lot of my content is about my life, right? Like on a regular basis. The top that I'm wearing right now was designed by a Black-owned designer.
And it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Love that.
The lip gloss that I'm wearing is from the Lip Bar, Black-owned business.
Also gorgeous. Yeah.
When I get my hair done, it's a Black beautician or stylist. I don't know what the correct term is. No, right? When I'm thinking about going out to eat, I always look for Black-owned restaurants first. And so it's just like part of what I do, and then I'm just like sharing my life. It has been a little bit more difficult to balance the service provision part of it, so I'm currently in a space of re-envisioning what that can look like so that I can be as supportive and as helpful as possible.
Love it. And I think it's incredible that you have built that into your professional life so that as you continue to grow as a lawyer, you're growing that on the side or simultaneously with it. I think that's so important that, especially for lawyers, we incorporate the things that are meaningful to us as we build ourselves as professionals. And because I've had times in my life where I compartmentalized too much, I focused too much on the lawyering and lost the magic in life. And you need both to be a stellar attorney. So I think that's one of the things about you that, out of many, that makes you such an asset as an attorney. Really stand out. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Just so cool to be able to be in your presence and know how you've grinded to build all of that. So how did you determine you were coming back to Atlanta after law school?
I always knew that.
Okay.
I fell in love with the city when I was here at Spelman. And so like there was never a question about me going back to Chicago. My parents knew it. My brother knew it. Like when I got down here and like really like found my people, they were like, all right, well,
she's gone.
She's gone now. Atlanta's home.
She set her sights to something, so everybody just back off.
And we're thankful for that.
Yeah.
Atlanta needed you.
Yeah. And so after, like, I chose WashU specifically for the social work and law programs, and then, like, came right back to take the bar.
How'd you get into family law? When did you decide that was going to be your path?
I initially started, again, I had no intention of practicing law.
Right.
So things kind of shifted while I was taking the bar, because that's when my dad died.
Wow.
And so I didn't know what I was going to do because, like, my whole world had fallen apart. But thankfully, because I had volunteered with Raising Expectations when I was in college, they knew me. The friend who actually built the website for Black Girl Buying was the program director there.
She was like a big sister to me, so she vouched for me and was like, hey, like, she just needs something for a little bit. A little bit turned into almost 4 years. And so I worked with them as a STEM academic leader, and then ultimately became a program coordinator for the elementary program that's there.
What's STEM?
Oh, sorry. Science, technology, engineering, and math, which is really interesting because
Yes, you do math.
I do math. It's not my favorite, but thankfully I was working with I started with the second and third graders, and I was like, I can do that math. We can do that. And then the elementary program overall was right at my level. I could handle that.
No,
Perfect.
she's so humble. Do not be fooled.
So I was at Raising Expectations for about 4 years, and then walked away from there. Just like kind of took a break and did some healing, and then found out that one of my Spelman sisters was looking for an attorney to join her firm, and so I joined SNR Law Group as of counsel and was doing their juvenile work, and I loved it because I knew that like, if I was to ever practice law, it would probably be juvenile work, specifically the dependency work. I loved it, and also it was so heavy emotionally. And so between that and the fact that I started there in March of 2020,
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Like the day before, the day after COVID shut down.
it was like right before.
Yeah.
It was like right before. I went to court. I think maybe I went to court in person maybe 1 or 2 times, and then we were on WebEx.
Right.
Yes, and you were oh my gosh,
Those were the days.
learning how to try cases virtually. Oh my gosh,
It was insane.
challenge.
So like that emotional heaviness with the subject emotional heaviness was a lot. And so when the contract ended at the end of the year, and I just needed some time. I was like, I can't look for a job right now. Like, what's going on? And so I actually went full time in Black Girl Buying for a while, which was really incredible. And then I was like, I think I want to buy a house. But I needed something. I needed more income faster than Black Girl Buying was bringing it in. So I was like, I think I'll get a job.
Perfect.
And my friends were like a legal job? You're gonna do that again? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I knew that while I loved juvenile law, I knew that was gonna be too heavy, and so family law just felt like the right evolution. Like, let's do that, and I was right. It's been great. I love it so much.
Do you feel like it fits in with your worldview, your goals as a person, human, lawyer, woman, all of that?
Absolutely. It took me a minute to get there because, particularly in thinking about divorce, I was like, I'm like breaking families apart. But that's not actually what we're doing. We are helping families to redefine what their family looks like and to build a better foundation that they can grow from. And so once I got that, I was like, no, this is absolutely in line with everything that I said that I wanted to do.
So interesting because there's been several, sounds like, times and events in your life where you knew wholeheartedly, I'm doing this, I'm going here, I'm doing this. And family law took you a little longer to get to that point. Did you ever have that moment where you were like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be? Like in 7th grade with Spelman, because that's a distinction that I'm seeing with these. And I'm loving that your journey led you to family law, but it was almost like that's like the crescendo. It brought you there and you were like, okay, I'm accepting this.
I don't know that there was one moment where I was like, this is it. But every time that I finish a case and a client is like, thank you so much.
Right.
It's everything.
Or just like knowing like, yeah, like that's those are the moments
Right.
that solidify that this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right. I've thought about that for myself too, in asking you this question. So it's not something I've put together until now. And I'm like, I think for me, it's the same. It's those rewarding moments with clients who, like, you're their lifeline, and especially the clients that, you know, show gratitude for that. It matters to us. And for me, it's definitely the moments in the courtroom where all that hard work and all the pain that person has gone through is being delivered. You're getting results for it. And in those moments when you're the one standing up in the courtroom and advocating, it's like almost I black out. It's more just, this is where I'm supposed to be in this moment. God put me here to do this. It's similar for me too. Like, I knew family law was my answer, but until you're up and moving and experiencing that, you can't really find the meaning in it. So I think that's awesome. I think that's so interesting. I love it. What is, and you may not have one specific answer, but do you have a favorite part of doing family law?
I love the types of cases that expand families. So like legitimations, adoptions. Those are the ones that I'm like, yeah.
I love it.
Even prenups,
Yeah.
which a lot of people are like, I don't know about that. But I'm like, no, like this is one of the best things that you can do going into a marriage, because like then you can have hard conversations.
That's right.
This is a communication practice.
That's totally
Truly.
true.
And so like those are like my favorite. I do all of it,
Right.
and I enjoy all of it. But those are the ones that I'm like, yeah.
I love it. So, you joined Hastings Shadmary. When was that?
August 6th of this year.
It feels like we've known you forever. So, why did you pick Hastings Shadmary?
I was coming from a place that wasn't providing the support that I needed, and that I was looking for. And from my very first conversation with you, Mally, I will never forget this. I was sitting in the parking lot, had just had like kind of a hard conversation, and I was like, I gotta do this phone interview. But like from the moment we started talking, I was like, yeah, this is it.
I felt like that too.
Because it didn't feel like an interview. I felt like I was just like talking to a friend.
Yeah.
And then
Same.
and then like going through all of the rounds, and then like coming to the in-person interview, and like meeting you, Andy, and then totally embarrassing myself by crying in an interview, and you guys were like, no, this is perfect, we love this, like you're good. I was like, okay.
Yes.
That was
it was powerful.
For the record, it was happy tears.
It was.
Mostly.
It was. Jamie was sharing vulnerable information about professional growth, and one of our core values here is vulnerable trust. We want that out of our clients, and we want that out of our teammates here. And you were demonstrating, not knowing it, a lot of our core values: humble confidence and vulnerable trust. And when you got vulnerable and there were tears, we did see that as a positive, because we were just being very real in that conversation. And it wasn't our first time talking. And that, yeah, you brought authenticity and just a very powerful energy from the beginning. And when Jamie, anytime a new person joins a group, a relationship, the dynamic shifts. You bring a new human into the mix, and only good has come from that when you join here. You stepped in, we got you in your office, and then it was like another star was born. And every time we get to add someone new that brings this brilliance like you do, it empowers the whole firm and all of us, and Andy and I included. It's just been such a refreshing honor to have you join. So that's kind of our perspective on it.
I love being here. So I'm very, very happy to be part of this team.
Same. We're so excited to see what you keep building and supporting you and cheering you on for all of your endeavors. That's something we're big about here. We want everybody to have their unique facets and everything. What about outside of the law and working? What do you do for fun? What is Jamie's life like?
Still a lot of reading.
What kind of stuff
reading.
do you like to read?
All of the things.
Okay.
So I read like seasonally. So right now we are in the thriller horror part of the year.
Okay.
And then we'll get into the holiday feel goody stuff.
Love that.
Top of the year will be like fantasy sci-fi stuff. Spring into summer is the romance, and then we get to mysteries, which then lead back into the thriller horror.
I cannot tell you how much I love this. I did not know this. I mean, I used to use all of my dollars to buy books at the book fair when I was a kid, and you have me beat hands down. And I love the theme, the seasonally themed. Oh, I just love that so much.
I agree. We love a reading
Yes.
lady.
So books for sure, and then I have my nieces. So my brother married one of my best friends.
Perfect.
They gave me nibs. So the gender neutral term for nieces and nephews is nibblings. Cute. And so when they told me that she was pregnant, I was like, all right, nibs.
That
Because
is so cute.
you didn't know. And I had to talk to her. So I have nibs. She's the newest baby. She's 8 months.
Oh, and she is beyond cute.
And then my other best friend lives like 10 minutes from my house, and she has a 2-year-old who is just the most perfect little angel. And she just started being able to say Auntie Jamie, and it is the cutest thing, and I love her so much. She is my oldest, and then my law school bestie has a girl as well, and I don't get to see her as often because she's all the way in D.C.
Oh, wow.
But Auntie Jamie loves her too.
Oh, Angel. And these are all honorary Wolfpack members, these babies.
And what's crazy is that they were all born in January within like a week of each other, like years apart. But like,
That's crazy.
So one every year in that same week.
That is so interesting.
I love that. So cute.
Are they Sagittarius or Cancer?
I think January is either Capricorn or something
I thought it
else.
was.
Sag
Oh,
is
you
in-
know what? Sag is earlier in December. You're right.
What's your sign, Jamie?
I'm a Taurus.
Taurus. Okay.
Yeah,
That's is not the ram.
yeah.
Bull.
The bull. I knew.
The bull.
We're kindred because I'm the ram. So, okay, let's get them, girl. I love, we've got a scorpion, a ram, and a bull. Watch out. Because that is actually how it delivers, too. I can see the bull in Jamie. Oh, my God. That's what I'm seeing some of the time. I love that. And then you're also big in your church and in...
Yes. So I attend Live Atlanta, the Brookhaven campus, which is, at the time of recording, 2 weeks old.
Oh, wow.
We just launched.
You've been a big part of that, helping build that.
I have been on the lead team for that, and it's been an incredible experience. Definitely pushing me out of my comfort zone in different ways.
I love it.
But it's been great, and I'm super excited to see how we continue to grow.
Oh, I love being able to watch on your social media. You've got to go follow Jamie. She is incredible to follow on socials, and seeing all that and like seeing who you are as a dynamic person, it's very inspiring. And it leads to a really like a healthier environment here. I feel we all have our things outside of the law that we get to share with one another, and our clients get to see who we are and bond with us on that. And you being a leader in the religious realm is very powerful for me to watch as a woman, a businesswoman, and that you carve out that spirituality, you embrace it, you walk the walk, talk the talk, and it's very clear every day. Very cool. And I got to see a video earlier of this woman, the bull, breaking a board.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about that.
So this is actually connected to church. So the way that we do community, we have small groups, and my group is a kickboxing group. So every Monday we get together and we punch some bags, and each season we have a breakthrough board, and so we write on the board something that we're praying for, and then on the back we write what we're gonna do while we're waiting for God to do what God's gonna do.
Wow.
And then we break it.
That is
And
awesome.
so
And you can break boards. I'm so impressed. She was wearing like this cute workout set. She looked incredible.
Which is black owned.
Isn't it a gi?
No, I wasn't wearing. No, I was
Oh.
just wearing a regular
Okay.
sweatsuit.
It looked like a gi.
but it came from a black-owned company. Of course.
Yes. Oh, it was just so cool. Andy can break boards too, can't you?
It's been a minute. It's been a little bit. I did kickbox. I mean, taekwondo.
Nice.
Which is wild to me too. I'm very safe sitting here beside these two women. Okay. I have, and you might have another question too, but my last question is, what do you believe family law offers to the world, and why is it important to society, what we're doing?
That's a great.
You've hit on it, some, but I definitely want to hear what's in your heart.
I think that families are the core of our society. And when families are growing well, then our society can do well. And so what we do is we make sure that the families have the foundation to grow well.
I love that. And that's our belief system here. And I love that that's just part of your fundamental belief system. And I know from working with you that if I were going through a divorce and my babies were on the table, my money, all the things, I would trust you because you have that attention to detail like we were talking about with Andy at the beginning. And not only that sort of, the brilliance, the intelligence, that articulate, all the things, the whole package, but on top of it, your heart. And you're safe when you're with Jamie. Whether that's just in a conversation, whether that's just her being a listener, and when she's coming to the table with ideas, you're going to leave the conversation a better person than before. And so thank you for sharing that with us today and every day. And you are just going to take over, and we cannot wait to see you do it.
Just lucky to do it with you.
Yes.
I feel very blessed to be able to do it with you guys.
Yes.
And also, don't get in the way of her mind map. If she's got an issue, she's going to mind map it, and you are done.
And it'll probably be color coded too.
Yes.
Oh, it will be.
Yes.
I'm here for it. You have no idea.
Well, thank you.
Although I'm no longer at that firm, I think that episode does a really good job of connecting all of the pieces. And so now you know more about me in general and how my work connects to Black Girl Buying, connects to my life, and how everything fits together. So moving forward, what you can expect to see on this channel is a lot more shares of businesses that I am supporting. You can expect to see more about my journey to publication. That is still happening. You'll start to see more about my reading journey and the things that I love to read, and the bookstores and the stories and the authors and all of that. So I'm really excited to share that. And yeah, maybe we'll get some more on dating while buying black. Who knows? I am still at least eligible to date because I'm single, but there's not a whole lot of movement on that front, so we'll see about that. But I am very excited about all of the ideas that I have, and all of the things that I want to share with you. So I hope you stay tuned.